Three, two, one. Welcome back to the Tea Podcast. We are now on episode 4, and today is a Tuesday night, and we're here with one of our fellow family friends. He actually lives in Montreal, and they came out here. They're staying in our house for dinner. We just had dinner. We had fish and rice. And how did you enjoy the dinner? Was it good?
It was really delicious and very amazing.
So, I heard you live in Montreal, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Is there anything in Montreal that's like an amusement park, or is there somewhere like a lot of tourists go when they go there, or is there somewhere you like to go in Montreal?
There's one amusement park in one of the islands, I think on Manzz Island, I'm not really sure, which is called La Ronde.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I think it's under renovation, but one thing which I really like about Montreal is and I have been going there like for a couple of times.
Yeah.
Is the Mount Royal Park, and there's a point in there which is called a viewpoint, and it's really nice and beautiful. It's a good place with where people can go there and hang out together. I mean, spend some time as well as doing exercise.
How many years ago did you move to Montreal?
Actually, it's less than a year.
Less than a year ago.
Yeah.
So I heard you've been to how many places before, like for vacation? I've heard you've been to Dubai. Where else have you been in the world?
So I have visited some places. I can say other than Dubai, I visited Boston. I visited Chicago.
Oh, Chicago's a nice place too.
It's really nice with amazing architecture.
Right. So you told me when you went to Dubai, you went to Cheesecake Factory. If you don't know Cheesecake Factory, then you've been living under a rock. So Cheesecake Factory is a restaurant. It's like an ordinary restaurant, right? And they have cheesecakes, right? So when you went there, was it your first time going to the restaurant?
So the first time I went to Cheesecake Factory in Dubai, it was my first time.
Yeah.
And actually my mother introduced it to me. She had visited the US, and she's been there, and so she recommended that we go there. And for the first time I went there, and we had cheesecake, and actually we had the Americano burger. We ordered the Americano burger,
right,
which is I think the best cheeseburger and the most delicious cheeseburger I've ever tried.
Really? So did you try the cheesecake or only the burger?
So actually both.
Both.
We shared we actually ordered, I think for the first time we ordered one cheesecake and we shared it, like me, my mom, and my dad.
What do you like better, the cheesecake or the actual burger? Like, what was more delicious? Because the Cheesecake Factory, it even has it in the name, the cheesecake. So how was the cheesecake? Was it better than the burger, or was the burger better than the cheesecake? Because I know it's popular for their cheesecakes.
It's really hard to compare, but if I want to say that if I have to choose between the two, I mean, I would definitely go there for lunch or dinner. So
yeah.
I can say that I would prefer the burger first.
Yeah, because obviously whenever I eat, at least I first eat the dinner and then eat the dessert, because it feels more right than eating the dessert first and then the dinner, because when you're hungry you usually want to eat the thing that's because when you eat like burgers or you're at a restaurant, you're really hungry, so you want to actually eat the actual food, and after you finish the food you're like, oh okay, I still have space for the dessert. So it's kind of like that feeling of you have a space left in your stomach for the dessert. So that's kind of like putting the cherry on top of the ice cream. It's like finishing it all off. So
Yes, I'm kind of the opposite, right? So I'm I usually go for to have some food.
Yeah.
And then try to actually check if there's still room
Yeah,
to
same.
order for the dessert. Basically the cheesecake.
Yeah. What cheesecake did you order?
So the first time I don't remember actually, but I think my favorite is the original cheesecake.
Yeah.
What
What is like the ingredients? Is it like vanilla cheesecake, chocolate cheesecake?
So it tastes a bit of sour, and it's like an original cheesecake. It's just just a cheesecake with a slice of strawberry on the top, and it looks like white. I don't think it has caramel or vanilla on it.
Yeah. So let's switch up the conversation a little bit. So what do you do as like a hobby or like as a passion right now? Do you have anything that really interests you, or what are you doing in Montreal right now? Like, is there anything specific you're doing right now?
So currently I'm actually beginning second year of my studies in the graduate program, master's degree actually. I mean, I have been playing tennis in Iran, but ever since I came to Montreal, I only had the chance to play once.
So you like tennis?
Yeah, but if it's my passion, like because passion is something that
You like
to
doing
do every day, every night.
what brings you joy as well?
Yeah. Tennis is actually a hobby, not a passion.
Hobby? Are you good at tennis? Do you like play for any clubs, or you just play for fun?
So far, I've been playing for fun. Really didn't have a chance to. I mean, really didn't try a real match.
So, how are you liking my set, like my podcast set so far? What are your ideas on it, and what do you think I should change about this?
So the place looks nice. I mean, the decoration and the stuff that you installed, the setup, everything. Perhaps I can recommend. I would say painting the wall, maybe, or the surroundings could have an influence on the audience.
Right, I was actually thinking of doing that. I was thinking of painting my walls yellow actually, and I turned out not doing it. But I think it would look nice if I add a little bit of color. I'm probably gonna do that in the future. What color do you think will look nice? Like yellow? I was thinking yellow because that's one of my favorite colors. Like this type of yellow right here.
So
This type. Yeah.
So if you want to use just a single color, yellow can be.
Or black is pretty good for studio also. For like a studio.
Black is. I think it will make it more, formal.
Yeah.
But yellow is more stylish, and it kind of depends on
your taste.
Yeah, it depends on your taste and the information. I mean the
what you're trying
podcast.
to convey in your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna change the color of the wall someday. This is how my normal basement looks like. I heard like whenever I go to the subway, there's always these weird people. Like I always like once I've been to the subway, and I swear every single time I see something different. So once I went to the subway, right, and I just see this guy staring at us. I'm like, okay, like what is he doing? So he just keeps on staring at me for like 5 minutes straight, and then he's like, I'm just like looking down. I'm not trying to make eye contact with him. I'm just like. I pretend to pull out my phone. I'm like, and then what he does is, he looks at me and he's like, he talks gibberish. He's like, something blah 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 blah, and I'm like, what is he trying to say? And then my dad's like, hi, because he wants him to stop, like,
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I didn't sit in Toronto's subway.
It can be weird sometimes.
Yeah, it can be weird, but yeah,
you can find those people everywhere. Like, they're everywhere usually.
Yeah, so those people like who might keep staring at me. I mean, I usually find them in streets.
Yeah.
Specific locations. I personally didn't have any experience with them in the subway in Toronto.
Yeah.
So maybe one way is to just you know, I mean, try to
Avoid.
try to avoid or try to start a conversation with
Yeah.
them.
And maybe they'll back off a little bit.
Yeah, the black. I mean, it actually happened to me in Starbucks.
Really?
In Montreal, not in Toronto.
Did someone just start talking to you randomly out of nowhere?
Actually, yeah. So there was a guy. I had ordered a coffee from Starbucks, and I was in rush at that time, and I just wanted to finish my coffee and get. I had an appointment. Get to my appointment. There was a guy sitting in Starbucks, and he at the beginning he kept staring at me, and then he asked, "Okay, what's your name?" And I said, "Okay, my name is Ali Reza," and then he asked me, okay, to buy him I don't know some snacks from Starbucks.
So he just told you, just buy me this.
Yeah.
Was he homeless or was he like just an ordinary?
Yes, he was. I mean, he was dressed good and
Yeah.
he looked for, but he was kind of strange. I think I would say he was homeless. Yeah.
Did you buy them the drink or the snack?
Yeah, I tried to buy him the snack. I mean, after a few minutes of conversation with him, and then by the time that he was supposed to accompany me to the cashier, he just left the Starbucks.
He just left the Starbucks.
Yeah.
So you ended up not buying
Yeah.
the drink from him.
Yeah, he disappeared, and I never
Saw him ever again.
Never.
He just disappeared.
Yeah, and the cashier was actually
Laughing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he said that he'd already ordered once that snack, and he gave it to him.
Okay, so I know you I brought up this painting right here. So I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a painting that I made over here that I made like a year ago, and you said you liked it. So it's kind of like an abstract art. You were gonna say something about it.
Yes, I was intrigued by the painting that you made. Like, point out one thing that's really amazing about this painting is actually almost every single shape that you can see here looks like, to me, looks like an animal.
Same.
Or like, for example,
Yeah, for example, like this one, it looks kind of like a bird.
Yeah.
Right over here. So like every single paint splatter kind of looks like one object. So for example, this one looks like, no idea. This one looks like a beak of a bird, for example. Like this part right here, it looks like the beak of the bird. Or yeah.
Or that one of them. This
Oh,
one
yeah,
looks
this
like
one-
a unicorn.
Yeah, this one right here. Let me show a little bit
It's
closer.
on the.
Yeah, it's this one right here. This one kind of looks like a unicorn. So the eyes. Is
Really
pretty
cool. Yeah.
Thank you. So
Yeah.
so for this, I actually made a video on this, a separate video on how I made this. You guys can go check it out. This right here, this little drip. Basically, what I did is I poured some paint, and then it just started dripping down, and it created this cool effect. And then for this part right here, this section right here, I just splattered paint, and it was pretty cool. So right now we have guests upstairs, and I was just talking about this. There's a Persian term, which is the language we speak. It's Persian, and there's a term called tarof, T-A-R-O-F. So this means basically insisting with each other. So us Persians, in our culture, Iranians, people that speak Farsi, what we do is we insist a lot. So say you're at a mall and there's an escalator, right? And you're like, no, you go first. And then the other person's like, no, you go first. No, you go first. No, you go first. And it's like kind of like a friendly battle, like friendly fight. And then at the end, they're like, no, I'm not going. You go first. You have to go first. Like they always insist. And it's funny to me because whenever we go to restaurants, correct me if I'm wrong, we always insist. They're like, no, I'm gonna get the credit card. And what's funny is at one point, the person that wants to pay, without the other person knowing, they sneak up and go to the counter and pay the bill so that the other person doesn't see. So they can be like, oh, I paid with the bill. You don't have to pay anything. I'll pay for the bill this time. It's on me this time. Every single time they keep on saying it's on me. And then it keeps on going on every single time. It's like a loop. And it's always just insisting over insisting. The other person kept on saying, I want to pay with my credit card, that my mom literally went up to the counter and paid herself. It's like, oh, I paid. You can't do anything about it now. It's all on me now. So it's kind of funny how I see that. What do you think about tarofing? I know a lot of Persians are watching this. It's a pretty funny term to talk, if you want to put this. It's a pretty funny subject to talk about.
Yeah, I was wondering like how common, I mean, it's definitely not that common in Canada.
Right.
But sometimes like, I mean, I was with a friend, he was visiting me in my apartment, and we were leaving the apartment, and we called the elevator, and then we were inside, and then after we reached the ground floor, actually there was no one else in the elevator. I tried to actually do this Tarof
like
thing.
insisting.
Yeah. And
like, you go in the elevator first, and the other person, no, you go in the elevator. No, you
exactly.
go in the
Actually, he was not really familiar. I mean, he was familiar with Tarof, but he was
familiar with the Tarof schedule.
Yes, that's so. He said, just take it easy, and
was he a Persian friend, or?
Yes, he was Persian. Yeah, and but sometimes like I still see it in near the doors.
Yeah.
Like when I go to
definitely
school. Yeah, there's a door. Some people hold the door for the person behind them to actually cross.
Yeah.
And then they cross themselves.
Right.
And I tried it actually today here. I was trying to
come a little bit closer so the frame can pick you up. Yeah, there you go.
So we were going to the mall today, and
you can look here if you want. You can look wherever you want, but you can look here if you want also. Yeah. So so it's more natural. Okay. I don't know why my sister's touching my camera. Like, please, can you go? Can my sister go? Please go. Okay, can you go? Bye. See you later. Bye. 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 Have a nice day. You can head upstairs now. So, sorry for interrupting you. My sister's always, up to something.
It's
okay. You can continue. You can continue.
So I was trying to hold the door for my mom and dad because they were behind me, and then there were a lot of people. I was trying to hold the door for my mom and dad because they were a bit slower than me. I mean, not that they're slower. I'm faster. And then a lot of people were overtaking them, and so while I was holding the door, a lot of people passed through the door. We were going to the mall, to the Yorkdale Mall, and I was...
Just to point out, Yorkdale is a mall near us. It's like a big mall. It has a lot of brands and outlets. Pretty good mall. Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted to give them a background story of what it is.
Sure. So we were leaving, we were exiting the metro and to the mall. There was a kind of tunnel, and then at the end of the tunnel there was an entry door to the mall, and my mom and dad were behind me, a couple steps behind me, and I opened the door and then hold the door for them, but then there were so many people passing through the door because they were faster than my mom and dad, so they were walking faster. And like a lot of people passed through the door, and then my mom and dad and then passed through the door, and then I was still holding the door, and then a lot of people were, because I was waiting for the kind of clear situation,
alleyway where you can pass through.
So there's no one left behind the door. I mean, for
so they passed already, and you're all the only one holding the door.
So I can let the door to get closed.
Yeah.
And then but it took a lot. It took more than I expected. It took more than I expected. So, but after a while, like someone,
close
yeah.
to it.
So and after a while, finally someone, I saw someone that she hold. I mean, she replaced me, and then
Right.
she held the door, and so I could go and join my mom and dad because they were moving actually far away from me.
Right. So what was your favorite part about Toronto? Like, I know you live in Montreal. What was your like best memory from here?
Well, so it was in summer. First of all, I had the chance to finally visit Toronto during the summer. It was different than visiting during the winter. Obviously, I could wear a t-shirt, and the amazing part was my experience to visit the High Park. So I don't know if you wanna give some introduction about
Yeah.
that.
So High Park is a little garden kind of. It has cherry blossom trees, and is it that one that you're talking about?
Yes, with the cherry blossom, but I think at this time of the year there's no cherry blossom, right? It's just I mean not in pink.
It's usually like cherry blossom trees, like a big park. There are cherry blossom trees, and a lot of people go there for photography. They take pictures there, and it's basically like just an ordinary park, but it has cherry blossom trees. And every season, the colors change. For example, obviously, cherry blossom tree is red and pink, and I like it when it's red and pink. It's just like a little park around Toronto, and it's a pretty cool place to visit. What were you saying?
Yeah, so it was an amazing park. It was not really large, but there was a tramway actually, which I spotted first, and when we got into the park, and then we got a ticket. I mean, me, my mom, and dad, and there was a journey through the around the park and actually through the park, and so it was an amazing experience for sightseeing and visiting different locations of the park, like spots to have a coffee, to have to grab a drink, or those kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. I think we should wrap up the podcast. Or do you have anything else to talk about? I know you pointed out that you like music a lot. Do you listen to music, or what type of music do you listen to?
So my taste in music varies, from genre to genre. My favorites are actually, it's not. I'm not. Artist based. Actually, I'm like a lyrics based.
Lyrics.
Yeah, I have a lyrics based.
Your taste is more of the lyrics than the sound.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, if I go to a coffee shop or anywhere with the music on, so I open the SoundHound app. So I don't use Shazam. I use SoundHound. This
is just recognizing music and tell you what song it is right away.
Yeah, exactly. And I find the song, and then after recognizing the song, I use the YouTube Music app.
Oh, YouTube Music
on my phone. Yeah, I don't use the Spotify.
Yeah.
And then I add it to my favorites, and basically make a collection. So other day, I played the collection. I shuffled it.
Yeah, shuffle, play the music.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
It can be electronic. It can be pop. It can be even rock. I mean, soft rock.
Do you like any rap songs, or not? Not really your taste? Because I know I kind of like rap and pop, kind of. It's either our generation or my taste. I'm not sure. Because don't get me wrong, a lot of people like other genres of music. It's just me that I think I like rap and pop.
About rap, Uh, mm, Not really, but old rock. I mean old-fashioned rock. I mean for 1980s,
80s songs.
Yeah, 80s song. Those are some of my favorites. So.
What's your favorite song so far?
So one of them is "Blood on Blood" by I think Bon Jovi is the artist or the group.
Yeah.
So
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi,
His
yeah.
name sounds familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's really a nice music, and I discovered it in like airplane.
Oh, in an airplane.
On the plane, yeah. I discovered on the plane.
Yeah, they have music in the planes.
Yes, during the flight, I was exploring the music.
The section where you can play
Yeah.
music.
Yes.
There's like jazz, pop, R&B. There's all those sections.
Yes, a variety of collections and
Yeah.
genres. Yeah, so during the flight, I listened to music in order to get distracted from the turbulence.
Yeah, turbulence is really bad. It's not bad. Some people don't like it. Some people like it. No, sorry. What am I saying? Some people are okay with it. I don't think anyone likes turbulence. Some people don't like it. Some people are okay with it. I'm personally okay with it. I remember the first time I experienced turbulence on a plane. I was scared for my life. I was crying. Like, I was pretty little. I was 4 or 5. I looked at my mom. I'm like, "Mom, the plane's about to crash." And I was all so scared. I'm like, "Oh no, the plane's about to crash." My mom's like, "Relax. It's just turbulence." And then oh my god, it was bad, bro. And turbulence is usually like something I put headphones on to distract me from it. Like, I usually bring my phone. I have a playlist I listen to. A lot of people watch movies. A lot of people listen to songs. Usually there's babies crying, which is the most annoying part about being on a plane.
I was hearing they were screaming,
Yeah.
and
It's horrible.
yeah, it's horrible because kids, babies, are really.
They're not used to the plane.
I hear the reason is that they have pain on their ears because of the air pressure fluctuations.
That's usually the reason why they cry a lot.
Yes, and it's really painful. But for us adults, no, it's completely normal.
I usually chew gum to get rid of that ear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Me too.
It also happens, the ear plugging, it usually happens sometimes when you go up a mountain. Have you ever drove up a mountain? Like, have you ever been to like a highway where it has like a little hill and then your ears kind of plug? That's happened to me once.
Yes, like during travel from Tehran to the north of Iran, there are mountains, but I personally was not.
So you traveled from north of Iran to here, or north of Iran to Toronto, or Toronto to Iran?
It was a road trip from Tehran to.
I thought you said Toronto. I'm like, how did you drive?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. No, I heard it wrong.
I didn't have ear pains during the, because when you're traveling from north of Tehran to the north to
South
to Mazandaran province, no, from Tehran to the north.
So from Tehran to
Shomal,
which is the south of Iran or
no,
Iran.
Shomal is north.
No, sorry, north.
Yeah, sorry.
So from Tehran, which is a city in Iran, to the north of Iran, you were traveling. It takes 12 hours to get to the north of Iran.
From Tehran? No, not 12 hours.
I've been to the north of Iran when I took a trip there to visit family. I think it was 12 hours for me. How long was it for you? 6 hours?
So were you traveling by the car or by bus?
Oh no, I was traveling by car.
It depends on which city, but I think the longest, like the furthest city is that I have traveled is Astara to the north, and it took me 7 hours max.
7. I remember when I went to the north of Iran. When I went to Iran and I was going to the north of Iran from Tehran to Iran, from Tehran to the north of Iran. I remember. Oh, sorry. I'm messing up. I'm very sorry. When I was going from the north of Iran to Tehran, when we were going back from our trip, it took 12 hours for some reason, and it was horrible. I mean, the view was amazing. There was a bunch of mountains. I vlogged it when I went there. Go check that out. A long time ago, I was a cringy vlogger. It was like, it's so uncomfortable in the car because the car was kind of like smaller. I wasn't used to the car and the space I was in for 12 hours straight. And my sister was beside me screaming, and you know my sister, sometimes she can get out of hand. And it was horrible. Like, I remember we were driving and I was literally just trying to fall asleep because my sister was yelling. Music was playing. It was taking 12 hours. It was a night. The experience was really nice, but also with good comes responsibility, you know? So...
Are you traveling during the summer or which season of the year?
I went to Iran, Iran, March 2 years ago. I went during the New Year.
So it was the spring, yeah. It's the high season actually for.
Because it's very popular there in the New Year's in Iran. Yes. A lot of people get together and celebrate Nowruz, which is the Persian New Year. And you know, it's very fun there when it's Nowruz. Like, we set off fireworks. There's a lot of stuff going on. When I went there, we actually bought like fireworks. We went to the balcony and we started setting off fireworks. It was really fun.
It actually is. Sorry to interrupt you. It's one day before the last Wednesday of the year.
Oh, it's
you're talking about the Charshamba Suri. Right?
Yeah, Charshamba Suri. So Charshamba Suri is a Wednesday night where you jump over the fire. Well.
Yes, that's a tradition.
It's a tradition. It's a Persian tradition. I'm just trying to explain it to the viewers because they might not know like our Persian culture. I'm just trying to let them know like a little bit more in depth. So basically, as you were saying, it's a Persian tradition where you jump over fire and you get together with your Persian family and your relatives, and you basically celebrate however way you want. For us, we light up fireworks. What do you guys do for Charshamba Suri?
So I personally don't like. I try to stay at home because I'm not used to the traditions.
Yeah.
But our neighbors. I was watching our neighbors in our
celebrate.
Yeah, they were jumping. They were
neighbors.
Yeah, they were jumping through the over the fire.
Over the fire.
Yeah, they were having fun.
Yeah.
I was.
The streets are insane. There's so many people when it's near the Persian New Year. It gets really packed. There's a place called Tajish in Tehran in Iran, which is like a little like outdoor little shopping magazine little thing. So basically, it's like a full-on street. It's a very, 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 very long distance from the street to the houses, and there's a lot of stores and there's a lot of people. Like, you literally go there and you're like in the middle of a crowd. Like, say there's a crowd this big, you're the one in the middle. It's that crowded, and it can get out of hand sometimes. Like, some people fall on the ground. It's it's pretty crazy, but it's also pretty fun going to Iran when it's a New Year's. The spirits are high. Everyone's having fun. It's pretty cool.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
In Tajish, you can actually my high school was very close to the Tajish Square, and
the area of Tajish.
Yeah, Tajish
the
Square.
Magazine Center. Yeah.
Yes. So at that time, I was walking from school to the bus stop, and then took the bus to home.
Yeah.
So I was finding a lot of local food and like
supermarkets.
Not actual supermarkets. There's a bazaar.
Oh, bazaar.
Bazaar. There's a market, which is the old bazaar or just bazaar, and there are lots of food and
Yeah.
there's
There's like baskets of fruits. There's like
baskets
grapes, apples, every
And-
fruit you can think of.
exactly, and one special.
It's very local as well. Sorry to interrupt.
Yes, it's really local, and so in Tajrish, there's the market, the bazaar,
Yeah.
and you can find the amazing dessert, Persian dessert, samanu,
Samanu, yeah.
and it was Amalayla samanu, I think, which is the brand.
Oh, it's a brand of the dessert.
Yes.
It's basically like, it looks like beans. There's like little beans. I wouldn't say it's soup. It's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. Okay, picture this. Picture Nutella with beans on top.
Yes,
That's what it looks like.
It is made
It's like
with
a Persian traditional dessert.
yes, it's.
Or I'm not the expert here. You know all about.
I'm not too. It's part of the half-seen table.
Yeah.
During the
The
New Year.
Nowruz table, right?
Yeah, the Nowruz table. But I think during the year, it can be found in Tajrish.
Right.
Almost
Can be found in local supermarkets around the area.
Yeah, sometimes. In that area, yeah, almost during the year you can find it.
Okay, so thank you for watching the Tea Podcast, episode 4. If you've watched it all the way to the end, subscribe, leave a like, you know the drill. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2019. So if you can make that happen, that's amazing. Bart Simpson, I think he'll give you guys a little sign out here, so I think he wants to end off the video. Okay. Did you like the podcast?
Yes, thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you for the interview and the podcast.
Thank you for joining me on this podcast.
Yeah.
Very amazing. And Bart Simpson is going to sign out this podcast. This was episode 4 of the Tea Podcast, and we're signing out.